when the new set of next generation of student comes, they will have different, your previous amendments might need some correction. That is why it is always a work in process document, and that manifesto is required for every class if they have to responsibly, ethically use generative AI in whatever allowed spectrum that they are supposed to. And as faculty members, for us to bring the differentiation and giving the clarity to the students, give them both the freedom to use it, right, and also to responsibly stay away wherever they feel that it is not the right way. Because the more we conceal, the more we are prompted to use it, and end of the day not really benefiting from it, right? So rather we tell them these are the things that you can do, these are the things you should stay from. At least in a class of 50 students, 30 students might follow, 20 students might not, but that's 30 is what your initial success is. And whatever is required to further make it to 30, 35, 40, 42, 43, 44, that is where the real challenge becomes. And that is where you try to understand the limitations of a technology like this, and the reality starts to unfold what is possible and what is not possible. And there will be always some bunch of students whom you really cannot influence at any point in time. What are you going to do to handle them? Because every student is your responsibility, right? And you cannot leave them away. So what is that as a faculty member you're going to come out with to handle those set of students who are not at all able to get into this framework? Is there any corrective measure? Is there any counseling? Or what is that? I don't have an answer, but having answers to those critical elements is what would set your coursework apart, right, from everybody else. And by large, encourage your co-faculty members also to come out with steps like this, and where you can also mutually learn from each other. Some sample disclosure templates which you can probably use and put in your notice board, so that there is more transparency in using the technology. At the same time, we also know where we should stay away from. I think that is lacking today in most of the places, where people talk at the back but not really in the front. The moment people start talking about it face to face with confidence, then you know that the students have transformed, and it is going to help them in a very big way and make them very competitive in the society or the market out there. Because even today, when we work in a work setup, right, when supervisors are around, leads are around, employees, even to do a Google search, they feel very hesitant. They think that if I'm searching, people might think that I don't know. It is a shame for me. No, that's not really the case, right? Our ancestors thousands of years ago have said, "Katradhu kaimanalavu, kalladhu ulagalavu." So when that itself is there, why to really think that whatever you know is everything, whatever you don't know is going to make you an idiot? No, that's not really the point, right? How vast you want to expand. That is what only if they get that security and the freedom and the assurance and the support and a very healthy environment where such practices can thrive, is actually setting students the gap between students going from tier 1 colleges like these IITs and etc. people who are clearing them, and the students who are not able to. It's just that mindset shift. There it is more open environment where such practices are encouraged and followed, and that is how they have been taught, and that is how they have been cultured. But for the other students, they unfortunately don't have an ecosystem like that. They unfortunately don't have the mentoring and the tutoring like that. And that mindset shift is what mostly, at least 50%, is setting them apart in terms of how I interacted with them. The reason I did not consciously say that it is tier 1, tier 2, because that is how they term, and for clarity is what I brought in. But that is how I say at least 50% of the students are at the same level. Just that they think about something, their thought process, their attitude, their behavior, their confidence is what is setting them apart. And apart from that, there are truly few people who set themselves, and there are always exceptions, right? And we don't want to talk about exceptions. Exceptions are always there. So we need to keep the exceptions around, and they only serve about 10 to 20% of the overall community, maybe. That too is a very big number. The remaining 70-80% is all the same. It is only these behavioral differences, that mindset and attitude is what really setting them apart and creating that distinction between the two. And I think a better ecosystem with thriving nourishment fostering can actually help bridge that gap in a better way. So I think with that we can probably close this session, and I share all these materials with you, and you can take your time to read, and I'm always happy to come back and clarify any questions or any support that you may need at any point in time. If you may have any questions, I'm happy to address them at this point. Any basic questions that you see, that is how it can help you, or if you think that this makes sense, or certain points that I said you feel that it is not really aligned and you don't really see any value because you have a different point of view. Is there something that you want to talk around those lines? Okay, thank you. Any questions, do let me know. Please share it over email or with the coordinators in touch with me, and I can get back to you either via email or another, maybe an online session or any focused sessions to help you put all these concepts together into something that can be showcased. Yeah, thank you.